Yeah. Yeah.
Sqwincher Outdoors is brought to you by Sqwincher Hydration that works, Rustic Timber Furniture, Dixie Outfitters, Torch Eyewear, White River Dive Company, Extreme Outdoors, Lily's Landing Resort and Marina, Jim Butler Chevrolet, Bowtech Archery, Hot Shot Manufacturing, Tops Camouflage, Victory Archery Arrows, Excalibur Crossbows, Vortex Optics, Spartan Camera, Rax Bow Racks, and Magnus Broadheads. Hey folks, thanks for joining us this week on Sqwincher Outdoors. We're going to do things a little bit different this week. We've been spending a lot of time in the trees chasing whitetails. But this week Tony's going to take you fishing. He's going to take you on a trout fishing trip with the folks from Lily's Landing. And he's in his hometown of Branson, so he knows what he's doing down there. And before we get to that, I want to show you a quick, easy way to use your bee meat. So lately I'd kind of been hearing about people taking their deer meat, I guess what I would call the bee meat, which normally people grind up into sausage or use for jerky, things like that. You know, I love a good back strap. I love the tenderloins. I'll take some steaks from the back hams. But that extra meat that you normally, like the neck meat, front shoulders, between the ribs, stuff that normally has a lot of gristle to it, what can you do with that? Well, I've heard people been canning it, so I tried this about a week ago, and I got to tell you, it turned out fantastic. It's really delicious. This is the end product. It looks something like this. It doesn't need to be refrigerated, which is awesome. You could just put it in your pantry or keep it in the basement stacked up and have a ready-to-go easy meal, and we'll talk about different ways you can use it later on, but I'm going to show you the quick, easy way that I did it. Now first I want to say, when I started reading, I saw that some people were just canning their deer meat in the oven. Some people were using power cookers, the quick cooker and machines, I don't even know what you call them, but I read enough to decide that that was a little bit scary. I wasn't going to do that. I'm not telling you you can't. I'm anything but a professional cooker, but what I decided to do is take the safest measure. I actually went out and bought a Presto pressure canner, an actual pressure canner. I bought one that holds 23 quarts, and I decided to do pint-sized jars instead of the quart jars because for me this is a perfect size for a quick meal. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first here, I guess I'll give you a quick rundown of the ingredients that we're going to use. First of all, if you're preparing the meat straight from the field, if you got your deer hung up, of course, you know, the back straps, the hindquarters, things that you use for normal steaks, you know, I don't mess with that. I like using the other stuff. There's nothing wrong with using that meat if you want to can a whole bunch of meat, but I have plenty just using the front shoulders and the neck meat, the meat between the ribs, and that kind of stuff. So right when I'm out in the field and I'm cutting those chunks of meat, I'm already preparing them for the canner. You can see I've cubed these into like 1-inch cubes, and that's going to be perfect for sticking into the jars. You just kind of cram it in there and it makes perfect packing size right there. Okay. Now, all kinds of variations, I'm sure you can try different things. What I tried the first time is I got some green peppers, green bell peppers here, red onions. You're going to need some black pepper. Now the salt, I don't have any idea what the difference in the different salts, but my directions recommended that we use canning or pickling salt, so that's what I did, and it worked. And then it also calls for minced garlic, which sounds great. I don't know why I decided to try this, but instead I used freeze-dried garlic, and it worked perfect. So I just thought this was easier to work with, and it turned out great. So that's the only thing you need other than your pressure cooker and some water. So let's show you what we got to do here. Alright, so I got all my ingredients ready, and I feel like I'm ready to get started packing. Again, I use these pint-sized jars. You can use quart-sized jars if you've got a family and you want bigger portions, but these work perfect for me. So all you really need is a spoon. You want to pack the meat in as tightly as you can pack it. You don't have to add any water, which is cool with canning deer meat, because it has its own juices and stuff inside. So it'll use that to kind of cook, and it actually kind of melts all the gristle and that kind of stuff. So you don't have any of that left in there when you're done. So. Well, I thought I had a little more meat thawed out than I did, so I only ended up with 11 cans, but that's okay. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous, and they're ready for the canner. Well, once I finish up my sandwich here, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to head down to Branson and do some trout fishing with Tony at Lily's Landing. Stay tuned. White River Dive Company in Branson, Missouri is the ultimate resource for your diving needs. Whether it's your first breath underwater or you're ready to take your skills to the professional level. Being a 5-star instructor development center with qualified professional association of diving instructors and dive masters, let them make your next diving adventure fun and exciting and provide you with your desired certification. Ready to scuba dive? Table Rock Lake offers exceptional opportunities to spearfish and explore an abundance of wildlife. Don't forget, White River Dive Company is a full-service repair shop and ready to tackle your diving needs.
Dixie Outfitters in beautiful Branson, Missouri has become an annual tourist destination for family and friends. With dozens of colors in every size, custom tees are our specialty. Whatever your interest, we got you all covered. We've added a touch of the South to high-quality leather hand tool belts, wallets, knives, flags, and much more. Y'all come check out the General Lee and Roscoe's Patrol Car, signed by Dukes of Hazzard cast members, and be sure to check us out online at BransonDixieOutfitters.com.
Well, welcome to this week's episode of Sqwincher Outdoors, and you can see I'm not in the tree this weekend. We're doing something a little different. We're in Branson, Missouri, and we're at Lily's Landing Resort and Marina. I'm here with the owner, Phil Lilly. Hey, Phil, thanks for having us this week. It's going to be a great trip. First of all, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your operation, just so they know what you guys have to offer here.
Well, we have cabins. We've got places you can stay, 1 to 4 bedroom units. They all have kitchens. Come in the summertime, we've got a swimming pool, full service dock and tackle shop, and we kind of cater to the fishermen.
Okay, they're fishermen. Yeah, they have pontoon boats, they have john boats, they have regular bass boats. Like Phil said, they have a full selection of bait and tackle. If you're a beginner fisherman, Taneycomo is really super friendly. It's pretty easy to catch trout. The guys at the resort here have been here for years and years and years, and they'll get you set up. If you got kids and you just want to have a good time, this is a pretty good place to go. But in the last year, there's been 3 or 4 gigantic brown trout caught, and I assume that you're getting a lot of calls for people wanting to catch big fish.
We get a lot of people that want to go out and catch big brown.
Yeah, everybody wants to. It doesn't happen very often. We got pretty good conditions. It's fall, so a lot of the big brown trout are starting to move upstream. Phil has been, he probably has a jig under his pillow when he sleeps, so I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about jig fishing on Taneycomo, and then we're going to go through a couple different other ways that you can catch them that are a little bit friendlier, a little bit easier to do. What's your favorite jig, Phil?
Well, sculpin is a color, it's kind of an army drab green, and it's the same color as little sculpin fish that we find in the lake. And that's by far the best color that we have. And we, depending on the application, we use 2 or 4 pound line. We throw a lot of 32nd ounce and 16th ounce jigs on 2 pound line, and you fish for them like crappie or white bass. You just throw them out, let them drop a little bit, and then just start just lifting or popping them and letting them drop, and the fish hit them on the drop. So it's something that you gotta, it's different than, say, sitting and watching a float or tight lining for, say, catfish. You've got to be working it all the time, and that's we really like to do that.
It takes a little more skill to do that, but when you catch one, if you feel like you kind of did something, you're not just sitting there with power bait on the bottom.
Right. And we tend to catch more fish and bigger fish on jigs than we do really anything else.
I agree with that. You guys, another method that we do, some of the guides down here, you just have a little Carolina rig with an egg and a little scud, and you can drift that in the current up there, and that's a pretty easy way for everyone to catch fish. Even little kids can do that method. So like I said, when you come down, you just stop into the shop, ask them what they're biting on, and somebody will set you up with exactly what you need to catch a trout and have a successful weekend. What do you think? You ready to go catch a fish?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Well guys, we boated up into the trophy area, and this is the lure only section of the lake, and Phil made 1 cast and he already caught a fish.
1 cast.
First, that 1 cast, there you go. What a guy trick. You guys, rainbow trout are not the toughest critters in the world, so try to be nice to them when you catch them. Release them as quick as you can. Get a good picture if you want to, but then just turn them loose. What weight did you have on?
Really?
Phil's going to try a 16th. I'm going to try an 8th out, see if I can get it to the bottom. They got a little bit of current going today. Like I said, he made 1 cast and caught one, so hopefully that's a good sign.
Maybe. Would have been Bob.
And a lot of reports from the fly guys that there is a big trout up here.
Yeah. Really, they said a lot of really nice rainbows. That was a good bite.
Oh, a double. Double, look at there. Guys, we're in Branson, Missouri, and a lot of people don't know that the kind of trout fishery we have here. This year alone, there's been a 30+ pound brown trout caught, 34, a 23, and then Bill Badler just caught one over 40 pounds, just missed the world record. So yeah, we're in Branson, Missouri. There's a lot of tourist stuff to do here, but fishing is something that gets overlooked quite a bit. If you've it's just a great place to come and spend a beautiful fall day. I mean, you're going to catch some trout.
There's been a bunch of big browns underneath our dock, so we've been videoing them, and we named them. We had Frankie, who really, Frankie showed up first, and we called him Frank, but then Frank showed up, and he was much bigger, so we had to change his name. And the little one was Frankie, so then we had another one show up, and he had his lower jaw was over on the side, so we call him Carl. Caddyshack.
Yeah.
So, but we have a underwater video of Frank and Frankie together, and Frank has a big old humpback, very distinguishable, and Frankie is more the shape as Bill's 40-pound brown, and I really don't think Frankie was that much bigger. The unfortunate thing is the underwater video I have of Frankie is one side, and all the pictures we have of Bill's fish were on the other side, so I can't compare markings.
See if it was the same fish by chance.
Yeah, just by chance. And that would have been really cool if we had pictures of both fish before they were caught, but I don't think we had Bill's fish.
Well, the original one, the Frank, he did get turned loose, and he did survive because he got turned loose up here in the trophy area, another fish, and he made it all the way back down to Lily's Landing dock, and so we know that one's alive. So if he makes it another year, he could be the new world record.
Could be.
That's how many rainbow trout he eats, I guess.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Habitat Taxidermy, the official taxidermist of the Sqwincher Outdoors team.
Oxygen must be good.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're fighting.
they're fighting good. Hey, little one.
Guys, up here in the trophy area on Taneycomo, it's kind of catch and release, lures only. But if you catch them under 12 inches and you want to take a couple home for dinner, you're more than welcome to do that. Just make sure you follow the rules on Taneycomo because they are different in different areas.
That little bear head shake.
Guys, the secret to catching these trout on the jigs is you got to be on the bottom. These trout on a real bright, clear day like today, they're not going to be up on the surface. They're going to be down there on the bottom where the bait is at.
Coming up. Going down.
Come on, fish. Oxygen level must be low.
Oh,
Oh no! Blame that on the guide. They don't like that net, do they? That time. Oh man, look at that one, guys.
Pretty fish. Don't fly. Don't fly. Don't fly. Don't fly. Thank you.
Nice.
Even with you?
Extreme Outdoors in Branson, Missouri is the largest tackle shop in the Tri-Lakes area. With an extraordinary inventory of fishing equipment and top professional knowledge, Extreme Outdoors will have you lipping that fish of a lifetime on your next trip. If hunting is your thing, Extreme Outdoors has you covered. Not only do they carry top-line bows and archery accessories, they also have the experience to get you and your gear ready for the field. While you're there, pick up your license and permits. Walk out of the best shop in the Tri-Lakes area knowing you're ready to tackle the extreme outdoors.
Down on reels. It's heavy.
I like big reels in case you catch a big fish.
We got a 4 pound on there.
Yep. Well, that's a pretty
We
one.
got some pretty orange in it.
Have a male in it.
Big one, buddy.
Oh. Guys, that's just a typical Taneycomo rainbow, man. There's lots of beautiful trout on this river. If you've never given it a try and you're in Branson on vacation, you can come down to Lily's Landing, get a room, get a rental boat, you can get a guide, you can come up here and do this yourself.
The Sqwincher Outdoors team is always on the move, and we depend on Jim Butler Chevrolet in Fenton, Missouri to get us where we need to go. With the largest selection of Chevy trucks at unbeatable prices, it doesn't make sense to go anywhere else. Sales manager Alex Cox and our buddy Scott Johnson promise to put you in a vehicle at a price you're not going to believe. Jim Butler Chevrolet not only has unbeatable prices, but a service and finance department that will treat you like family. Call Scott Johnson right now and let Butler Chevrolet show you why we won't buy from anyone else. Rustic Timbers Furniture in Branson, Missouri offers only the finest quality of rustic furniture, unique decor, and one-of-a-kind taxidermy artwork. Whether you're looking for that perfect piece of furniture for your log cabin or ready to turn your present decor into a rustic dream, with hardwood beds, dressers, and nightstands, you can bring a touch of nature and wilderness to your home or office. And personalized pieces can add a touch of nature to any room. At Rustic Timbers Furniture, there's something for everybody.
Well, guys, it's been a really enjoyable day out here on Taneycomo. We caught a lot of fish on a jig. Phil, thanks a lot for inviting the Sqwincher guys to come down out of your resort. Sure. You guys, at the end of the episode, we'll put on all the contacts for his resort, for the guides, for the rooms. If you guys ever come down to Branson, just give him a call. It's a family-run operation, and you will truly be treated like family. He may even feed you some chicken if he's grilling. Go to the house.
Thank you.